start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Oh boy, Switchforce finally came out of the woodwork after almost a long hiatus because he made himself look like an idiot last week trying to capitalize on over 9,000 people losing their jobs and trying to hype up his favorite piece of plastic. He has finally come out, and nonetheless, he's overhyping stuff yet again. Let's get into this reaction.
I just beat Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I'm going to say it. Nintendo is doing it again.
Doing what again exactly? Ripping guys off? I mean, they never stopped doing that.
This isn't just a great Donkey Kong game. This isn't just a great platformer. This feels like the start of something far bigger, and it is so darn reminiscent of a little game that could.
Okay, first off, Switchforce, your opinion means absolutely nothing. You overhyped a freaking demo of this game, acted like it was hate-proof, making us all believe you got like a review copy or an early copy somehow, which wouldn't surprise me. You did get a Switch 2 early. For some odd reason, somehow you did get that one. I'm so curious to find out how that happened.
That began what became an insane run, a catalog of absolute craziness. Breath of the Wild on the Switch 1. What's going on, everybody? It's
Okay, let's just start the disrespect you are showing to Zelda. Now, I will sit here and admit, DK Bonanza, I am thoroughly enjoying it, but it ain't no 10 out of 10. It isn't no 9 out of 10. And so far, I'm having a very hard time to see why this game is $70. Because so far, it shows me that it should have been a $60 game. I still got to beat the game to find that one out. That should be coming up here soon. But you're going to sit here and compare DK Bonanza to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, they went swinging with that game. They took something beloved like Zelda and turned it into something different. They evolved it into something that many games took from. DK Bonanza isn't revolutionary. It didn't add anything. It didn't sit here and evolve the formula. It is a very good, I would probably say it is a cross between a 3D platformer to like an RPG. The only problem so far that I'm having with that game, well, I'm not going to get into anything. You're going to have to wait for the review to come out. But that's what they pretty much did, but it's not like this hasn't been done before.
which where something magical happened the last few days. I just played the heck out of Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Okay, we all knew that you were going to be playing this game. You got no other games to play at this very moment here, Switchforce. There isn't a whole lot of... You've even complained that the Switch 2 is lacking of games. And I'm starting to think that the reason why all you Nintendo people are overhyping these games is because, unfortunately, you guys suffer from lack of game derangement syndrome.
I played so much Donkey Kong Bonanza, I didn't even make videos. Now, on one hand, that's good because I didn't post any.
And that's not because you were playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. When you were playing Mario Kart World, you had no problem making a bunch of videos. The reason why you didn't make a bunch of videos was because the week before, you decided to be a fucking idiot and sit here try to capitalize on 9,000 people losing their jobs to hype up Nintendo as the savior for the gaming industry, even though they're ripping off the consumer, and I called your ass out for it. And I think a bunch of other people called you out for it too. That's why you went running and hiding.
Late game spoiler content, and don't worry, this video will have no spoilers either. On the other hand, that was really bad because, like, this is a huge moment. But I soaked up the heck out of this huge moment, and it felt like the launch of the Switch 2 all over again. And in a lot of ways, it felt like the launch of the Switch 2.
Well, probably because the reason why it felt like the launch all over again was because this game should have been the launch title. I still stand by that one.
Should have had. Don't get me wrong, Mario Kart World is fantastic. DK Bonanza is the Breath of the Wild equivalent. It's something that was missing from the launch of Switch 2. And
yes, which everybody would agree with you. Come on, get on with it already. We ain't got all damn day.
Even though Mario Kart is fun and Mario Kart is that multiplayer mayhem that many people have been waiting many, many moons for,
I haven't experienced the multiplayer. My wife won't play with me. If anybody got any advice, please. I'm trying to get my wife to be a gamer with me, but she won't do it. She's just not into video games. I need help.
DK Bonanza shows Nintendo hasn't lost it. Somehow Nintendo was able to create a 7 or 8 year wave.
Okay, DK Bonanza is amazing, but I do not think it's worthy of Game of the Year. I'm going to be honest, that's a hot take. I really don't think it's at that level.
Right, a rolling wave of releases where they just kept one-upping themselves. They came out with these genre-defining experiences, these franchise-defining experiences.
This isn't like a genre-defining experience. It's a very good game, but this game didn't evolve anything. It's not like with Tears of the King, with Breath of the Wild, that was revolutionary. That evolved the formula. Tears of the Kingdom didn't. It was just more of the same. This is what DK Bonanza is. It's more of the same when it comes to the type of platformer games. It is fun. The transformations are the best part of that game, but it's not revolutionary by any means.
And they couldn't quite be stopped until they kind of stopped themselves because it was the end of the gen and they were waiting for Switch 2 to really launch their engines once again. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree, but I think that Donkey Kong Bonanza is the start of the second golden era of Nintendo.
No, not even close. Nintendo needs to come out with something that's like a wow. It's literally going to become like a cultural icon like Breath of the Wild became. It needs to evolve and revolutionize something. You know, just like Expedition 33, it took something like a turn-based combat that is timeless and classic, and it evolved it and made it better. Nintendo did not do that with DK Bonanza. It did not do that with Mario Kart World. It needs to create something that can be done. And everyone's going to be like, oh, well, everything has been done as already. Hey, look at Expedition 33. That says otherwise.
And getting 2 golden eras of Nintendo back to back, freaking unheard of. Not something they do often, not something they do well. You could look at the NES and the SNES and say, okay, they were on their like S tier game.
Okay, I was about to sit here and say that, but he beat me to it. But also, nah, that's not exactly true. You look at the Game Boy Color to the Game Boy Advance, very successful. Then you go to the DS, very successful. Even to the 3DS, even though the 3DS did not sell as much as the DS did, it still did amazing. So I'm about to disagree with you. It's when they go for their home consoles, not the handhelds. Their home consoles, they haven't done back-to-back very well since the NES to the Super Nintendo. And we all know why the N64 did not succeed. Nintendo made a big mistake picking cartridges. If they would have picked discs instead, they probably would have done a lot better.
Those two. And some might say the beginning of the N64 gen, like they were on their S tier. Switch 1, they were on their S tier, and a lot of people...
No, Nintendo was not on their S tier with the N64. You know, they did make some really good games. That is very true. But that console only sold 30-something million. It got whooped by the PS1.
Like, Switch 2 is going to suck. In fact, so many people were committed to Switch 2 sucking, they continue to make content to this day saying that Nintendo Switch 2 ain't all that.
Well, that's just a fact. That's something that you need to accept, Switchforce. I understand that you love Daddy Nintendo, and I bet he's one of your favorites. I bet he thinks you go nice and deep for him.
Doesn't have any games, graphics aren't really as good as they said they were, the screen isn't really as good as we thought it was. They just have a whole bunch of nonsense to say.
I mean, it's not nonsense. The graphics aren't as good as we all thought they were going to be. There isn't that many games. The games aren't as good as we thought they were going to be. And guess what? The screen isn't of as high quality as everybody was making it out to be, because there are some people that unfortunately are seeing the ghosting effect, but I don't really see it.
And instead, Nintendo comes out and says, DK Bonanza, oh, by the way, it's a Game of the Year contender. Oh, by the way, it might be the best Mario platformer in the Switch era, even better than Mario Odyssey. Yes, we have to put that debate out there.
So far, I have enjoyed DK Bonanza more than Mario Odyssey. Now, when I sit here and break down both games, I don't technically think one is better than the other, because them two are like really different. But I love DK more than I love Mario. I personally think, even though Mario works for Nintendo, I'm not saying Nintendo needs to not sit here and make Mario games, because Mario is very beloved. I personally think Mario is overrated. I prefer Luigi over Mario. I love DK. So me personally, so far, I am loving DK Bonanza over Mario Odyssey. But unfortunately, with DK Bonanza, there is too many problems with the performance issues. And, well, I'm not going to get into the whole thing because we all know about the performance issues, but I will sit here and have my review out, so I don't want to spoil the review. You have to watch the review to get my full thoughts on it.
and they're just getting started. This is by all accounts the first Switch 2 exclusive game that's doing something new, right? Mario Kart World, like, okay, they tried to do the open world thing a bit,
and Mario Kart World severely failed. And just because this is like a new Donkey Kong that they're trying out, it's not revolutionary. It doesn't evolve anything. There have been other games that have had transformations in them that have done something similar like this. No one is sitting here saying that DK is evolving or revolutionizing anything. And when it comes down to the whole RPG part, they didn't even hit that right.
but that really feels like it's stepping on the toes of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's really like riding piggyback.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is so much better than Mario Kart World. Fight me in the comments.
We can't imagine, because we saw where Nintendo went after Breath of the Wild was the start. I remember sitting in an airplane with my Switch 1 playing Breath of the Wild in the air for the first time and being like, dude, Nintendo can literally do anything.
Yeah, nobody thought that. They still have yet to figure out how to make a proper racing kart game at a proper price. Guess what you need? Newsflash, a story mode. It's not that hard to figure out, Nintendo.
The sky is the limit for where they can go, because I'm playing a brand new Zelda that completely busts the shell of what Zelda was, redefines it, and I can play it anywhere.
Yes, congratulations. You can play it anywhere. And guess what? You know, if people make the Switch their primary console like the Switch 2, you do realize that they're not going to always have it on the go. That's just a side benefit of it. There are a bunch of us that do not have time to play stuff on the go. Like when I'm home, I generally just play it while I'm home. I don't have the time to play on the go because I'm driving all the time, and I do not promote playing and driving at the same time.
Now, Donkey Kong Bonanza is redefining and busting the shell of what DK is. Also, I'd say what like a 3D collectible platformer is in the modern 2025 era.
It may have redefined what DK is, but it did not redefine what a 3D platformer is. And guess what? When it comes to these expensive price points, collectathons are not as amazing as you guys all make it out to be. Because collectathons is not quality content. That is like that's like bonus content. It's not, it should never be considered quality content.
Setting the bar insanely high for the Mario team, but oh wait, this isn't even the main Mario squad. Nintendo used Donkey Kong as a launch window character. And now I don't want to take...
Stop calling it a launch window. It literally should have been the launch title. This game is phenomenally better than Mario Kart World in every way. Even though it's two completely different games, you will have way more fun with this game over Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is a niche thing where you're only going to have fun generally if you're playing with friends or family. But if you are a single player person like I am, you're going to have way more fun with DK Bonanza.
Anything away from this game because I freaking love it. It's going to probably be on my all-time list. I absolutely adore this. You get to the end and you're just...
Like I said, your opinion means absolutely nothing. You think Mario Kart World is worth $80. At that point, you lose all credibility.
Like, I can't spoil it, but you just... I don't want to take anything away. Your jaw is on the floor. The game experience as a whole leaves you feeling with that Nintendo joy that I feel like comes just a couple times a generation. We're lucky that it...
If you could play this game without hearing any of the hype from other people, I think you will actually enjoy this game. You will really love this game. The problem is you got people like him and other Nintendo people overhyping this game to the point where it honestly ruins the experience for you.
does. Most companies, like, their joyful, insane game is like once. They hit it like once. Nintendo hits it all the time, but alas.
Yeah, I think Mario and Luigi said Brothership says otherwise, along with Princess Peach Showtime. And I understand there are people that like the game, but come on, if we're being honest, that game is nowhere near the level of a Mario Odyssey or a DK Bonanza.
Is using DK as a launch window game, which to me says they don't believe DK is like the best that they can do.
Now, when it comes to Nintendo, them picking Mario Kart World was the smart business decision to take their most popular game that sold the most and put it as a launch title. I am not taking that away from Nintendo. That was a very good business decision. But unfortunately, Nintendo has yet to produce a game that showcases that this is the Switch 2. This is next gen. They have still yet to do that. It is pathetic that that Nintendo is allowing third parties of 3-year-old games to overshine their first party titles right now.
Now, I'm not saying it's not amazing. I think it is amazing, but I feel like they think they've got room to grow. Breath of the Wild was a great game, but Tears of the Kingdom really capitalized on it in so many distinct ways.
Well, the sales figures say otherwise on that one.
And Nintendo really built up throughout the Switch life cycle what they could do with that system.
Now, I wouldn't say they really built up on the Switch one. Re-releasing old games does not really count as building up. I'm not going to give Sony credit for that, so I'm not going to give Nintendo. Now, Nintendo did sit here and create some very good games for the Switch one, but let's be honest, a lot of those games, the most successful game on the Switch one was a re-release from the Wii U.
What it meant to be a Nintendo exclusive, and how they were going to evolve their franchises, take their characters to new heights, and pursue this idea of Nintendo being the best game makers on the planet.
I would not say that they're the best game makers on the planet. Mario Kart World says otherwise.
Now, some people will love Breath of the Wild because it's the OG. It started the seed, right? It began the bloom. And DK Bonanza could very well be that game for me or for you, but there is so much more coming.
Breath of the Wild, hands down, is way better than DK is. I actually love the character DK over Link. I think Link is also a little overrated, but when you compare the game to that game, no, I'm not even sorry on this one. Breath of the Wild is way phenomenally better than DK Bonanza. DK Bonanza is still pretty fun, but it is nowhere near that level.
That's like the most exciting part, right? DK Bonanza is a revelation. DK Bonanza is everything I hoped and dreamed and more.
Please explain. How is it a revelation? Will you please explain instead of throwing out all this crap?
In fact, it's far better than I ever thought it could be based on what I saw of the gameplay. They sell it so short by being like, you can break the level.
Yeah, it's not hard to entertain you. You literally gave the Switch 2 a 9.8 out of 10. I don't think you ever gave a score to Mario Kart World, but you think that Mario Kart World is worth the price. So your opinion means nothing again.
The game is absolutely exponentially much more than that, but Nintendo has much more up their sleeve.
Oh, I really hope so, because they have not released a game yet to make me think, oh yes, I am so happy that I have purchased a Switch 2. And I think a lot of people are starting to think that also.
Look, so many of their franchises are waiting for a Switch 2 release, and in fact, waiting for anything. We're waiting for just about anything. We haven't even had a Switch 2 era direct. Think about that.
Which they need to hurry up and come out with that soon, because I really want to know when Metro Prime 4 is releasing. I need to know this. We all need to know.
Let that sink in with how good DK Bonanza is. By all accounts, how great Mario Kart World is. Mario Kart World, like Nintendo has set the bar so high.
Mario Kart World in no way set the bar high. What are you talking about?
Mario Kart World is so good, it doesn't even stand out because it just does what Mario Kart's supposed to do, right?
And what exactly does it do? Rip you off with an overpriced piece of slop?
You're like, oh, a 9.5 out of 10 game. Yep, they did it again.
Oh, now you give it a score. A 9.5 out of 10? There is a no. If he literally sat here and say it's a 9.5 out of 10, there's no way he included that full price tag into that review. There's no way that anybody can say that game was worthy of an $80 price tag.
That's the bar Nintendo has set with Mario Kart. They haven't even had a direct. They have a character that was forgotten for decades, comes back, redefines 3D platformers.
It did not redefine 3D platformers. You want to know what did redefine that? That was Astrobot. Astrobot, Sony became the king of a 3D platformer.
And it's absolutely amazing, and they haven't even begun to show you their hand. We know Metroid Prime 4 is coming, oh, that's a cross-gen game. We know Pokemon Legends ZA is coming, oh, that's a cross-gen game.
Yes, they are, and unfortunately, I am not that hyped for Pokemon Legends ZA. Usually, I get very hyped for a Pokemon game, but with that Pokemon Presents, it did not make me hyped. The game visually does not look as good as it should, and I hate Dragonite's Mega Evolution. That is one of the worst Mega Evolutions I've ever seen. A Mega Evolution is supposed to make him look fearsome, badass. It didn't look like that. It's like, just because they put wings on the damn head? Now, I like the tail. The tail was good, but the wings on the head, that was terrible.
They kind of revealed some, I think, smaller titles in the form of Hyrule Warriors. They've got these Switch 2 edition upgrades. They showed off Kirby Air Riders, but who knows what Sakurai is actually brewing at that.
Those Switch 2 upgrades are an abomination. Charging people like $20 for almost stuff that's considered bare minimum content, that's ridiculous. And now it's time to read off the members of the channel. We got Koros Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Mattfox94, Watari, Shade Milkman, Oh No is Justin, Brian Payne, Jay Wesby 65, Andy Ritz, Sea Stars Piplup, Cam, Austria Slane, Maximilius 2400. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew.
And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special emotes, badges, and you get a shout out at the end of each video until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. And also, I got an awesome merch lined up for you guys. I got amazing shirts, hoodies, I got coffee mugs, I got desk mats, I got a bunch of different kinds, so why don't you check it out also. And please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're